Are you looking to become the best Megumi player, or are you trying to impress some friends? If so, then you have come to the right place. This is 12 tips to become the best Megumi player. Tip number 1. You can use Rapid Escape as a free combo starter. If your opponent tries to run at you or blocks, you can dash behind them to start a combo. But keep in mind that a Hikari or Yuji can counter you if they see it coming. Tip number 2. Rapid Escape's R variant can combo into a Toad after a down slam or uppercut, which can be used to increase the damage of combos compared to the normal Rapid Escape, which does not combo into Toad. It can also be used to parkour around to either chase people or run from them. Just make sure to use it at the apex of your jump. Tip number 3. As you might already know, Megumi can put throwables into his shadows and take them out. But what you don't know is that this can be used during combos for crazy amounts of damage. Here is an example of me using this in a small combo. And here is me putting it into action. Tip number 4. When using Divine Dogs, most people will anticipate it and try to block it, which opens up the perfect opportunity for you to dash behind them and start a combo. Here is an example of me putting this into practice. Tip number 5. Due to Max Elephant's long wind-up, it can be pretty hard to hit. But if you waste an opponent's ragdoll cancel and down slam them, you can use Max Elephant right after, which guarantees it to hit, dealing around 50% damage. Here is me using it in a public server. Tip number 6. Great Serpent is a very useful combo starter due to the fact that it bypasses Ragdoll Cancel, which allows for Shadow Swarm to be used right after Great Serpent to guarantee it landing. Here is a combo that uses tips number 5 and 6. Tip number 7. Due to Mahoraga's incredibly long wind-up, it can be extremely difficult to activate, but this can be solved by using it on top of a building. But if that option isn't available, then it can be used right after a Great Serpent by flying straight into the air and spamming Mahoraga. However, this method relies on wherever you and your opponent land after falling. If your opponent is too close to you, then it is more likely for them to reach you and cancel it in time. Another method of landing Mahoraga is to use it right after a Shadow Swarm, since Shadow Swarm knocks enemies far away. It provides the perfect opportunity for Mahoraga, but just be careful not to use it when there are people around. Tip number 8. When using Mahoraga, the likelihood of you getting teamed on is heavily increased, and with your 150 health, it only prolongs your inevitable death. But to help with teaming, we have the adaptation ability and the defensive wheel, which reduces the amount of damage you take from damage sources, which include melee, bullet, explosions, and domains attacks. However, you may find it hard to use adaptation when getting teamed on, which leads into tip number 8. If you are being chased by someone, wait for them to use a predictable move such as reversal red, or wait for them to dash at you and use adaptation before it lands. And don't worry if your ritual bar is low, as each time you land adaptation, it is filled all the way to the top again, while also bringing the cooldown from 16 seconds to 8 seconds. Tip number 9. If a fire arrow or hollow purple is being thrown at you, swap to the defensive wheel and get ready to parry it. If you successfully parry a fire arrow or hollow purple, it is deflected in whatever direction you are facing. But keep in mind that it cannot damage the one who threw it, and will just go through them. So aim at a person nearby so they get hit with it instead. Tip number 10. When using ground pitch, there is a small chance that you can throw whoever you grab extremely far and high. However, this is extremely difficult to replicate, as it requires you to perform a set of steps. Step 1. Run at the opponent. Step 2. M1 them once. Step 3. Use ground pitch right after the M1 and they should go flying. If you can't replicate this, then you can just throw them into the wall and they should fall out of the map. Tip number 11. Sometimes when you front dash as Mahoraga, you barely even move because you get stuck on the ground, which gives opponents a chance to punish you. So right before you dash, jump, which will make sure that you don't get stuck on the ground, and allow you to make use of Mahoraga's longer dash. Tip number 12. Always pick up as much as you can with ground pitch to extend the hitbox and make it easier to hit opponents. If you see a vending machine nearby, use ground pitch on it to pick up as much as you can. That is all 12 tips the best Megumi players use to dominate, which we will be using to win us one ranked 1 versus 1 game. I hope these tips will help you in the future. And don't forget to subscribe. That's all for today's video.